The UK educational experience is one of the most sought after educational experience, especially among Africans, because the UK education is one of the best in the world. Now, before the reinstatement of the post-study work visa, a lot of people were discouraged from applying to UK universities because there was no point in spending a lot of money for the UK educational experience and not even being able to gain UK work experience. But now, because of the post-study work visa, which gives you the chance to get a bit of the UK experience, which can help you if you move back to your country or if you go to another country. So now it is back. The post-study work visa is back for now, and it has made the UK one of the top 3 countries where international students seek global education. But with all the political issues right now in the UK, it is causing people to think that there's a time limit to the student visa being issued or dependent visa being issued. So right now, there is a lot of demand for the UK educational experience. So schools are experiencing a lot of application. And as I stated in my previous videos, there is a limit to the amount of international students the schools can accept. So right now, a lot of people are losing their January 2023 admission. And in this video, I'll be discussing what is happening right now in the UK and why international students are losing their admission. So if you want to know the mistakes that people are making and what is going on so that you avoid losing your admission for September 2023, then please keep on watching.
Everybody know I'm a visual. Yeah, I kill it cold like a criminal. I'm everybody's type, but nobody can deny. Yes, you know I get it, I'm getting freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on, get that freaky, I'm getting freaky. Get it right.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omomi, aka Petite Diva, and I am a University of Nottingham alumni and also a Developing Solutions Scholarship Award winner. In this educational series, I talk about the UK admission process, I talk about the UK visa application process, I talk about tips and tricks on how to enjoy your stay in the UK, and I also talk about tips and tricks on how to earn more money as an international student in the UK. If you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, before we continue with this video, I just want to remind you that I offer some UK educational services, and those services include SOP writing, academic CV writing, and the UK admission package. Now, the UK admission package involves me curating courses and schools that best fit you, also writing SOP for the courses that you've chosen, and writing your academic CV. I will also help you with the application process. Now, if you want to use any of my services which are affordable, please check the description box for my email address so that you can send me an email. Please, when sending me a mail, be specific in your email. Please let me know your educational background, your work experience, and send your documents. If you don't know the documents that I'm talking about, the documents required for especially postgraduate. Like I said, my services are for master's student, please. No PhD, no bachelor, just master's students in the UK. So if you don't know the documents that are required, I have a video that I stated all the documents that are required. Please check that and then send me those documents so that I can review your documents and review you to know if you fit my clientele profile, because it's not everybody I can accept. And also, you can join the Telegram group. I advise that if you're looking for an admission in 2023 or you want the process to be smoother for you in 2023, please join the Telegram group. There's a lot of real-time information being shared, so you're aware of things as it's happening and you can avoid some mistakes or take advantage of some opportunities. So please check the description box for my email address and the link to the Telegram group. Now let's get into this video. Now, I have been screaming and shouting for months, apply early, apply early. One of the key things to applying early is you are more settled. Now, when you apply early, you're also able to get an admission early and also save money. I have a video where I talked about all these things. Now, you didn't apply early, you applied late, and with the whole rush, schools are even taking time to review application and offer admission. You've gotten an admission in October. This is October, almost the end of October. And then you still want to follow the due process, like the slow process. I'm talking to Nigerians in this case now. Like I said in one of my videos talking about how to pay for your tuition fee deposit and some things, if you've not watched that video, you can check the video on this channel. In that video, I talk about the different ways you can pay. Now, one of the way is Form A. But as you know, if you watch that video, or you're in Nigeria, you know that Form A process, which used to take 5 days to 2 weeks, is now taking up to 2 months. This is October. I don't get how somebody wants to pay your deposit. I'm repeating it. With Form A, the slow process in October for a January course. Now, I'm going to say, I don't think I've ever said it in any of my videos, but most schools always go on break in December. Now, I don't know if they are going to take as much break as they used to take in previous years because of the crowd and everything, but I know they're going to take at least 10 days. Now, most schools take a break around December for both staff and students. Now, for students, it's usually around December 10 to 15, depending on the month, the day of the month, depending on the year. Now, for staff, it usually used to be around that time, or 20 something. So they take at least a week or 10 days, at least. Before, it used to be like maybe 15 days, 2 weeks, but at least 10 days. Now, if you don't get everything done before that time, you are going to be at limbo. If you are waiting for your cars and you have not gotten the cars before that time, you will be at limbo. And if you're going for a January course that you're supposed to resume for, like some schools, January 9, and they go on break for 10 days and resume like January 3rd, when are you going to get the cars? When are you going to apply for visa? You are going to be at a rush. And most of the schools will tell you, if you don't come in 2 weeks, blah, 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 and you don't enroll, physical enrollment, you should not bother coming into the UK, this. So now you want to do Form A. The standard Form A. There's Form A Pro Max. If you are in my group, you will know about the Pro Max, but I'm not going to say it on this channel. And then you now begin to go up and down. Hey, my Form A, they've not debited me, they've not this. Meanwhile, you're not the only set of international students going to the school. There are people from other countries that don't have Form A wahala, and they are paying for their tuition deposit without problem. I've said it in previous videos, the postgraduate class is usually small. There is a limit to the amount of people they can take. Even if they are taking extra, they cannot go beyond a particular amount. They are not Nigerians that will carry 300 people in a class when it's supposed to be 150. They will not, because it could lead to sanctions and some certain things if they go beyond the maximum limit they can go. So if a school used to accept 50 international students for a course, they could probably go to 75. They could probably accept 75. But them going to 150 might be outrageous. Even the lecturers will complain. And if they keep on complaining, union will enter, government will enter. They could lose accreditation if the course is an accredited course. So they are not going to risk it. Now, most schools are having deadline for payment of tuition fee deposit. If you still think you can use Form A at this point in time for a January course, I don't know. Now, for those that have March admission or June admission, fine. By the time it is debited, maybe in November, if you start in October, you will still be ahead. But just know that you could risk getting an email saying that your class is full. I've seen somebody that started at Form A already like 2 weeks. She had started at Form A like 2 weeks before, prior to when she received the mail that sorry, admission has been revoked because the class is full. And if the class is full, the class is full. When they say the class is full, it means that the people have paid. Now, some schools are even refunding money. Now, the fact that you've paid does not even mean that you've secured your space, because I think it was NTU that sent a message and said that if you've paid before a certain time, yes, your space is secured. If you've paid after a certain time, they are going to refund your money. It is that bad. Another mistake that people are doing is that you applied late. And definitely these offers are taking time. You get an offer and then you say, oh, I don't want to accept it. I don't want to, let me wait for another course. This, that. And I'm like, this is October. If you're determined to be in the UK in January 2023, you don't have that option to be waiting for other courses. At this point, anybody waiting and not settling with a course right now should just forget it. You are going to be disappointed, and this is not me being pessimistic. It is looking at the time frame and seeing if you can even make it. Some people, especially those that applied early in Teesside, already have their visa. While you are still contemplating whether you should accept an offer or not, they already have their visa. Some people in Sheffield Hallam University have their cars. Some are going to apply for visa next week. Some have already applied and are about to do their biometric. So I don't see why at this point in time you are still deciding, except you know that you don't want to be in the UK by January 2023. You don't mind being in the UK by September or June. Another one is not being proactive or being realistic. You apply to a school that has certain conditions, and you are not being proactive to preempt you being asked to fulfill those conditions. Like if you apply to a school that requires POF before you get CAS, you're supposed to have gauged it in a way, or you're supposed to have been preempting it in a way that by the time you get an offer, your POF should be at least 2 weeks into maturation. At this point in time. Now, if you had applied since, you can afford to do anyhow. But at this point in time, if you're sure that that school is going to give you the admission, you should be preempting some things. So that immediately they give you the admission, like your POF is already almost matured, that you can submit it, get CAS, apply for visa and the rest. Or maybe your condition is IELTS. You should have been preempting it. You should have been reading, or I've booked the exam, because at the end of the day you're still going to do the exam. You should not wait till you get the offer and then start doing fire brigade. Personally, I don't like fire brigade approach. It stresses me out. I like to plan and be ahead of the game. That anxiety and the hey, it's not me. It is not me. So I don't see why people do it. And while you're doing, trying to book, somebody else has already paid and already submitted. And then they might tell you that, oh, sorry, the space has been filled up. Which is why I say you have to be proactive, you have to be realistic, you have to be ahead of the game. Here's another reason why people are losing their admission. Deadlines are changing. Someone asked me, what's the deadline for the payment or something? And I'm like, are you okay? People that are going to Salford, University of Salford or University of Stirling can tell you that deadlines that are posted on the website is just for show. Every time, even if you go on the website, they will tell you this timeline can be adjusted. And since they've told you, you're supposed to know. For instance, there are some courses in Salford that have multiple entry dates. Now, they have September, January, March, June. And for June, it was stated on the website that the application process was supposed to actually start in September. Then they shifted it to the end of October. Now, as of end of October, they said, sorry, the spaces are filled up. Because they had to defer some people from previous intake. Now, some September were deferred to January to March to June. That June is now filled up. Someone applied for March and was given June. Another person applied for January and was given March. Now, even though they said the June intake is filled up and less, some people are still not going to take up that offer, which is the truth. So they might open the application process later on in the year, but it is going to be just open for a short period of time. Now, my own advice in the group is that even if you are interested in September intake, if it opens for June, apply. Why? If the June intake now fills up, you will be deferred to September, and you will now be the first set of people to get September admission. Now, University of Stirling requires you to show POF before CAS is given. They had a deadline. All of a sudden, they sent a message to everyone that if you don't upload your POF before October 28th, that there's a tendency you might not get an admission. There's a tendency that you might not get your CAS for January. I think they sent that around 20th of October or 21st. And I think the deadline for showing your POF for CAS was around November. And now it is October 28th. And I'm like, what? And some of the students have sent a message to them to like extend the date, and they're like, no, it is 28th of October. You can send it afterwards, but we don't give any guarantee of you getting your CAS. So if they are unable to get their CAS, it means that they will be deferred till September 2023. Expect a lot of deadlines and expect a lot of things to change. Now, for instance, Hall changed their deposit from 2,000 to 4,000, and then their payment plan is not it at all. If you've been watching my previous videos, you know that Hall was one of the schools that I said had affordable tuition fees and a great payment plan. But right now, it is not great anymore, and I think they are aware that people are not happy with their changes. They increased their school fees drastically, and then the payment plan is not it. I'm going to do another video where I talk about the payment plan of some certain schools that have changed drastically. Some schools are asking for 65% of your tuition fee as deposit, some as high as 70%, and they were not like that before. So you can imagine paying 9,000 as deposit for a school. I'm going to do another video that is going to talk about all those schools that have changed, so that if you are planning on applying to those schools, you might have to look for other options. So basically, this video is just saying that you have to be proactive. Now, if you are paying a deposit, if you don't use the Pro Max for Form A, you would have to use Flagwire or Black Market, talking to Nigerians. So that is all for today's video. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps to encourage me a lot, and it also lets YouTube know that people like this video and they share it with other people. If you are not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.